June is shaping up to be another big month, with a wave of new releases and some long-awaited titles finally arriving. Here are some notable digital and physical releases that you need to know about for both the Nintendo Switch and Switch 2. Let's dive into it. June is kicking off in a big way with the arrival of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, the second installment in Square Enix's Final Fantasy VII Remake trilogy. It comes out on Nintendo Switch 2 on June 3rd. If you're curious about the game, there is a demo on the eShop that includes the first 2 chapters, and I highly recommend giving that a try. I've been very impressed with what I've seen so far. For a game known for pushing hardware with its visuals and expansive open-world areas on consoles and PC, the Switch 2 version looks remarkably good and seems to run a lot better than I ever expected. I think this is going to be another addition to that growing list of more impressive Switch 2 releases. The pricing for it is also going to be pretty reasonable, with the digital and game keycard versions having an MSRP of $49.99 USD. Konami's long-running football/soccer series, originally known as PES, or Pro Evolution Soccer, is making its way to Switch 2 on June 3rd. The franchise transitioned to the eFootball brand in 2021, but the series has faced criticism over the years for its free-to-play model and some of the decisions that came with that approach. This release will be taking the series in a new direction. Instead of following the free-to-play model, it's being offered as a traditional paid game for $19.99, with all modes and content available with no additional purchases required. At that price point, this might be a good option for football fans looking for a new sports title for their Switch 2 system. The prequel to the first Tavern Talk game, Tavern Talk Stories Dreamwalker, arrives on Switch on June 9th. Just like the first game, this is a bit Coffee Talk inspired. This is a visual novel adventure game where you mix drinks for your customers while listening to them and completing little goals along the way. Apparently, the character you play as has a special ability where mixing drinks can alter the fate of your guests. Those drinks have to be pretty strong. There's a demo in the eShop that you can check out if you're curious. On June 11th, Monopoly and Star Wars collide with Monopoly Star Wars Heroes vs. Villains. Unlike traditional board games that get converted into digital releases, this one looks like there's a considerable amount of effort that has been gone into both its presentation and gameplay mechanics. Each hero or villain you choose comes with some unique abilities that can directly impact the outcome of a match, adding a strategic twist to the classic Monopoly formula. There's also special events and objectives that can shake up things and change the course of the game in unexpected ways. Another notable addition is the multiplayer structure. Rather than sticking to the traditional free-for-all format, players can actually team up in cooperative 2 vs 2 or 3 vs 3 gameplay modes, creating a different experience from standard Monopoly. If you're a fan of Monopoly, Star Wars, or both, then this might be a title worth keeping your eye on when it launches on June 11th. It's also reasonably priced at $29.99 MSRP for both the Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2. Unrailed 2 Back on Track puts you to work building train tracks across procedurally generated levels, all while the train is actively moving. You'll need to gather resources, craft materials, and avoid a variety of hazards and obstacles as you race to lay down tracks and keep the train on course. This game fits right into that category of what I like to call chaotic co-op multiplayer games. Games that are similar to titles like Overcooked and Moving Out, where teamwork is a must and everything happens under a constant time pressure. There's a demo on the eShop that you can check out, and from what I've played so far, it's shaping up to be a lot of fun. On top of that, the game will feature a launch discount on the eShop through June 26th, offering 25% off the MSRP price tag. Finally, for those who pick up the Switch 1 version, you can upgrade later to the Switch 2 version for absolutely free. What the hell is this game? That was my first thought that came to mind when I first saw footage of Denshattack. In this game, you guide a gravity-defying train on a mission to take down an evil corporation. Along the way, you'll pull off skateboarding-style tricks like kickflips, ollies, and rail grinds while racking up points and battling massive bosses and rival trains. It's a completely over-the-top concept that looks absolutely wild in motion. There's also a demo available on the eShop if you want to get a taste of how chaotic and creative this game is shaping up to be. It'll be out on Switch 2 on June 17th. Weird title aside, The Adventures of Elliot, the Millennium Tales is set to launch on Switch 2 on June 18th. This action RPG, built with Square Enix's HD 2D visual style, is shaping up to make a strong impression. It appears to be heavily inspired by series like the Legend of Zelda series, as well as Square Enix's own Mana games. You'll explore caves, dungeons, and shrines, solving puzzles along the way, doing this while teaming up with a fairy companion. Doesn't that sound familiar? Elliot has access to a variety of weapons, swords, bows, chains, sickles, as well as he has the ability to warp and block and parry attacks. A new updated demo has also been recently released on the eShop that showcases several changes from the previous demo. And judging by this new demo, I think this game is shaping up quite nicely. Again, The Legend of Elliot, The Adventures of Elliot, comes out on June 18th. Maybe we can wash away the lingering disappointment of R-Type Dimensions 3 from last month with another R-Type game that is arriving this June, R-Type Tactics 1 and 2 Cosmos. This collection is actually remakes of the first two games in the tactical strategy spin-off series, where the first game was originally released in North America under the name R-Type Command. This also marks the first official Western release of the second game, which was previously exclusive to Japan. In these games, players command fleets of R-Type fighters and support units in turn-based battles against the deadly alien forces. Both titles have been completely overhauled, with updated graphics, enhanced visuals, and a variety of gameplay improvements that are designed to modernize the experience while preserving what made the original games stand out. It'll be out on the eShop and in physical form on June 18th. We are finally getting a new Star Fox game after all these years, and it's a remake of Star Fox 64. This game features brand new designs for Star Fox and his crew, and the game's visuals are a huge step up from the previous game, Star Fox Zero, which was also based on Star Fox 64. Nintendo just cannot quit that game, can they? Anyway, this game aims to greatly expand on the original game with new content and features, such as new multiplayer modes, both competitive and co-op, the ability to use Joy-Con mouse controls, and the game supports game chat, both multiplayer and general game chat. Use a webcam filter for any Star Fox team member. Yes, VTubing has come to game chat on Nintendo. And you can use GameShare to share the game and play with others through multiplayer with just one copy of the game. It'll be out on June 25th for the Switch 2, and just like recent first-party releases, it'll be cheaper on the eShop by $10 US. Arriving on June 25th for the Nintendo Switch system is a game called Race Rocket Arena Car Extreme. It's a vehicular combat racer starring monster trucks. Think high-speed racing with a bit of Twisted Metal-style chaos mixed in. I've had the chance to spend some time with this game over the past week, and I can share a few early impressions. While the game originally launched on mobile devices, this console version features the game completely repackaged and updated specifically for consoles. Basically, there's no additional purchases, no energy systems, and none of that usual mobile game frustrations here. Everything is included with your one-time purchase of the game, and all the in-game content can be unlocked simply by playing the game. There also seems to be a substantial amount of content to unlock, including a wide variety of vehicles and upgrades that can make your monster trucks go faster and make them tougher and more competitive. This game features a lengthy career mode filled with challenges, along with battle arena, battle racing, and tournament modes. One of the more impressive things I've found about the game so far is the performance. This game runs at a smooth 60 FPS even on the original Nintendo Switch system. For those who played a lot of racing games or car games on the original Switch 1 system, you know that 60 FPS for a car game is not something you see every day. It actually helps this game kind of pop out a little bit from other car games on the platform. That aside, the game will have a pre-launch discount of 50% off. It'll actually be $9.99 instead of the MSRP of $19.99. That's something to note if you might be interested in this game. Anyway, that's it for now. I'll have more thoughts on this to share later in the month as we get closer to the game's launch. And those are the biggest highlights in the upcoming releases that you need to know about the Nintendo Switch 1 and 2. June is shaping up to be a big month. It also marks the 1-year anniversary of Switch 2. And we're expecting some news to drop, possibly even a Nintendo Direct as early as this week. So don't be surprised if we see a few surprises along the way, in addition to what I've covered today. Stay tuned and make sure to subscribe if you haven't already done so, with notifications turned on. There's a lot more coming your way. We're going to be looking back at the first year of Switch 2, diving deeper into some of these newer releases, and of course, keeping an eye out for some great deals along the way. Have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you soon with the next video.